So shouldn't you be saying, Mr. President, what we are seeking is action, not telling Nigerians to be bold? Because this could be misinterpreted to be saying, you know, the president has said do not be violent. We're saying, no, be violent.
No, 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 no. When I say be bold, already the politicians are eating up the polity. People are expressing fear that there will be violence. What we are only trying to say is that, look, Nigerians, you must be bold to take your destinies in your hands, because the way you make your bed is the way you lie on it. Don't let anybody intimidate you from exercising your right.
Let me quickly do something here. Let's go back to your letter you wrote to your organization, but it would interest you to note that you didn't go through that speech of Mr. President so deeply, because you haven't actually talked about so many other, well, seemingly fantastic things he's mentioned about job creation, about the economy, about development of the non-oil sector, and even trying to re-equip the Nigerian military. These are some of the things we thought that you should also have actually, well, commented on, but you chose to pick only on that statement.
No, we have comments on all those areas, but you see, our concern is that the president was not authoritative enough. With, you know, he talked about job creation, he talked about security. You and I know, before Mr. President came in, the issue of Boko Haram has been there, and there was no annexation of Nigerian towns. So Mr. President coming up to tell us is repositioning the security agencies to confront Boko Haram. Mr. President was silent on the fate of over 200 Chibok schoolgirls, when they are still in captivity for over 262 days.
Did you say he was silent?
Yeah, he was silent on the issue of the girls. I read through the speech. I didn't say anything. So on all these issues, the reality on ground, the president is not giving us that assurance that they can find them. Even a few days ago.
Sorry, I'll let you continue. Just to key this in, I'm trying to analyze this and see if you go through what Isuadogo has said. He said, well, it's not only the Chibok girls, almost weekly or monthly people are taken. So you think him talking about the insurgency in Nigeria's northeast hasn't actually addressed that? You would have thought that he would have categorically mentioned the Chibok girls. That's what you mean?
He should mention the Chibok because they are Nigerians. Those Nigerians have been taken away against their rights, against their own freedom, which is a violation of the Nigerian Constitution that Mr. President swore on oath to defend. So one would have expected that Mr. President will come up with policies, with measures to address this issue. Policemen have been, abducted by the insurgents. Schoolgirls have been abducted. Aircrafts are missing.
But in just one paragraph, he settled all of that. I'll read this to you. He said, we will not forget. We will not look the other way. We have done a lot of painstaking planning and work to resolve the current security challenge. We will bring justice to the savage terrorists known as Boko Haram. They will be defeated. Doesn't that encapsulate everything?
It doesn't. It doesn't, because the reality on ground is different from what Mr. President is trying to assure us. Mr. President has always made such statements whenever attack by the insurgents come up. So there's no difference. But the reality on ground is that today, parts of Nigeria has been annexed, has been exorcised by insurgents, and we have a government in power.
Which parts of Nigeria is that?
At least I saw one of your messages there. The army is pledging to recover territories that are still in the hands of the terrorists.
Yeah, but did our report say that parts of Nigeria has been annexed?
Oh, when somebody says I'm going to recover, what is going to recover? Is it still in his hands? If the Nigerian army can say we are still waiting to recover
when
territories.
Did you see the report?
It's in the media now.
No, when did you see the report?
I saw it. I'm a media person.
I know.
I've seen it on the media.
Was it this week?
I saw it this morning. This morning, 2nd January 2015. He's still in the papers.
Mr. Ekujimi, it would seem that there is no satisfying you, let's be honest, in the sense that if the president had not mentioned the girls, or had mentioned the girls, you would still say the reassurance wasn't enough. He summarized it, you know, it's still not enough. In the places where he was very categorical about his assurances, it still wasn't sufficient. You know, so it would seem that either way, you know, there was really going to be no pleasing.
No, you
someone
see,
like you.
I want the best for my country. And it is not about satisfying me. It is about performing your constitutional responsibility as a president. You don't owe me alone that responsibility. You owe over 260 million Nigerians.
We'll try to sort all of this to get a more peaceful country and a united nation, so to speak. I'll take this question because we're actually closing, winding down, and it's from Pamzat Ace. A treat. He said, please ask Mr. Nelson Ekujimi, if we were president, how would he have handled the Chibok girls issue?
I would have handled the Chibok girls issue is that, one, I wouldn't have behaved like Mr. President, who didn't believe there was a kidnap of the
No, we're looking at a speech. We're not going beyond the speech. For yesterday, he didn't tell us that he didn't believe that there...
No, you know the history of the Chibok issue. The double speak, the army said they've located them. Even the chief of defense staff, Alex Bade, came and said they've located them. You know the issue of when the army came up with that hoax of a release of the girls. You also know the issue of a hoax of a ceasefire, and they recant. Until today, nobody has been honorable enough, responsible enough to come and apologize to Nigerians that we took you for a ride by telling you the girls will be released. We have reached an agreement with Boko Haram.
Have you sought an interview with the chief of defense staff to explain what he meant by that as a journalist?
It came on air.
I know. I mean you.
Why should I? Was I the one that sought the interview with him when he said they've located the girls? Was I the one? He came on here and spoke to Nigeria. So he should also call. He's the chief of defense staff of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and not chief of defense staff of Nelson Ekujimi.
Yeah, but
they get that straight.
But you're a journalist, so what is wrong with you finding out why did you make that statement? What actually went wrong? Did you set out to mislead Nigerians? So
Okay.
it's not your place to do that.
Okay, how about the statement?
Would it be wrong if you did that?
If I did that?
Yes.
The other media houses, if I don't do that. And the government has a responsibility to give Nigerians information on its activities without asking them.
Would it be wrong if you did that?
It won't be wrong.
To galvanize your point.
His constitutional responsibility is to perform his functions, and part of his functions is to inform Nigerians about the security situations and stop playing games with our lives.
Mr. Ekujimi, as we wind down, are you hopeful, are you optimistic on what 2015 has to bring?
Well, as a human being, I'm very optimistic of what 2015 will bring. So long as Nigerian people will realize that they don't have any other country than Nigeria. They must come out in 2015, come out en masse. That is why we must admonish INEC to get its acts right with the issue of distribution of PVC. Because INEC, as far as we are concerned, from our observation, from reports gathered from the media, INEC has done a shoddy job of the distribution of PVC all over the country. That is why you have governments like Kano, like Niger State, threatening to take INEC to court. Even here in Lagos, you see a lot of people who are yet to be in possession of their PVC. Unless the people are prepared to take their destiny in their hands, they will determine how 2015 will be for them. But for me and for our organization, I wish Nigerians a peaceful, prosperous, and violence-free general elections, and to realize that as a united people, no matter the obstacle, we can weather the storm together.
Do you have your PVC yourself?
You know, definitely. I got mine about on the 29th of December. I was lucky to get mine.
Okay, so we wish you a peaceful election while you vote as well.
And I wish you also a peaceful election, because I expect that you must have yours, and you must galvanize Nigerians that the way we make our bed is the way we lie on it. Enough of lamentations in our bedroom. The only way we can change the destiny of this country is by coming out to vote and to ensure that we stay there till our votes are counted. No issue of an IGP telling us we should go 300 meters away from the polling units. Nobody can tell me that in this country.
Well, Thank you for coming on. Nassim Ekujimi, Center for Rights and Grassroots Initiative. So we'll be back after this break. Join us again.
Thank you very much.